Hey guys, it's Captain Harris back again for another video. Today we're doing a tier list of all of Nicko's Iron Maiden tour kits. Every kit that he's used.
Can we get enough Nicko content on this channel?
So we were just gonna do a casual, I don't know drums that well, so it was gonna be aesthetics and, sound. And this guy's coming over to see the Titanium Tart shows.
We flew him out special.
No, we did not fly him out. He flew himself out.
I flew myself with my arms.
He is a pilot.
Yep.
But he was messaging us days before he came, like, hey, I just put together this spreadsheet and found 90 pictures of all the kits, so by God, we're going to have a much better video today than I initially planned.
And by the way, this is like a really good reference to what an Iron Maiden fan is. Just like all of you in the comments when it's like, I wonder what they're going to play next year, and then there's a 14-paragraph comment of what people speculate is going to be next. This is what we've done with drums.
Yes. So if you haven't seen our Titanium Tart vlogs, this is Adam.
Hello.
He's a drummer, and he's got a YouTube channel as well where he occasionally uploads Iron Maiden covers. So
when I have time.
We'll link that below. Give him a good plug. And, okay, maybe we should get into this.
Yeah, so let's start. We're going to put them all into a tier list, and so everybody can scream at us and say, no, that's not the best one. But we've got a slideshow of them, and we've got the tier list, and we're just going to have fun and talk about Nicko's kits. So now, Adam, we have to get started with not a tour kit,
Yes.
but Nicko's first album with Maiden, which was Peace of Mind, when he played in the studio, correct?
Yes. So
walk us through that.
This is the one kit on this list. Well, sort of. Well, okay. We'll get to that. We'll get to the Legacy of the Beast stuff later. This is the one drum kit on this list that was actually never used live with Iron Maiden.
Mm-hmm.
This is the kit that he recorded Peace of Mind with. So it's a Sonor phonic series. Nicko has called it the XK9212 model. That's the version that was in the catalog with two 22-inch bass drums. The one that he actually had was the XK9412. He had 24-inch bass drums.
Got it.
As we know, he
Sure
likes,
that.
he likes the bigger
slide
kits.
through these,
Yeah.
right?
So that's how it looks in the catalog. That's the XK9212. And of course, as you can see by my lovely graphic design work here, our Nicko is not known for using double kick drums. No. So he left off the second kick drum.
So you left that one at home.
Yeah. And this kit, there's a little bit of mystery surrounding whether this kit that he used for Peace of Mind is the same one that he used towards the end of his run with Pat Travers, because when he was, let's say, removed from the Pat Travers band, Pat actually kept his drum kit. And at some point, they reconciled, and Pat either bought him a replacement kit or gave him his kit back. It's still not exactly clear. In any case, he ended up using this kit with Trust. So if you've seen the Trust gig, I think it's on the Rock Palast Festival from 1981. This is the kit you can see him playing in that video. Okay. So we've got a couple stills here from that. There's really not a lot of good photographic evidence of this kit. It does show up in the in the Flight of Icarus video, because obviously they recorded that in the studio at Compass Point while they were recording Peace of Mind. But there's really not a lot of good photos of it. It's also worth noting, this kit was used to record Powerslave and Fear of the Dark as well. And part of the reason for that is that apparently, according to Nicko, this kit is Steve's favorite. This is the one that Steve loves the sound of. It's got all concert toms, so no bottom heads, really easy to mic, especially live. Super punchy sound.
It's interesting that Nicko came into the band with a fully formed drum style and choice of drums.
Yes.
I didn't know if he came in and then built his sound as he grew, but it seemed like he already pretty much had it.
Yeah, and I think the reason for that is as Nicko has told it, he used to play a little 5-piece Heyman kit with Pat Travers, and then eventually when Pat started getting more successful, in Nicko's words, Pat told him that he needed to get a big F-off drum kit.
Okay.
And so this is what he landed on.
Wow.
But yeah, it's not the kit that he used for the tour for Peace of Mind. We've never really seen it in public. This
is the kit where everybody heard Where Eagles Dare for the first time.
Yes.
So every Maiden fan back in the day heard Nicko's first notes with the band with this kit.
Yes.
So it's definitely worth a mention.
Yes.
So where do you think we should put it?
Yeah, I'm gonna let the drummer decide on
our
a lot
list?
of these
Well,
tier
I got
lists.
this one down here. It's just the album cover.
Now I think that's that's fine, but I do think it's important once we get into the tour kits.
Of course.
Like,
yes.
The aesthetics are also important, and also just like the tone of the drums.
But I don't feel like I can
non-drummers.
speak on this one because I didn't know about this one.
That's-
like you did.
that's fair.
You've got like all the Star Wars XQZ numbers.
Also,
The
feel like
alphabet
we have to be conservative from the beginning as
Yes.
well
Yes.
because there's so much to get to.
Yes.
Because let's be honest, if I just did this by myself, I would probably put them all in S tier. But we can't do that. That wouldn't be a very exciting video.
No,
for
we
you all
have to.
watch.
It has to be.
We have to cause controversy.
There
Yeah.
has to be at least one stinker.
Yeah. Oh, there will be. We'll get to it. So I'm kind of mixed on this one. Like I think it has iconic status. Obviously, as you mentioned, Where Eagles Dare. It's on a lot of classic records. That to me puts it leaning towards S tier because it's like it's the kit that started it all.
It's the introduction to
Yes.
the new sound of Iron
Yes.
Maiden.
Was it leaning S tier or is it S tier?
I was leaning S tier.
Okay.
However, I will also say, in my personal opinion, it's not my favorite sound of his. Even though I know for a lot of, especially like old school fans who first got into them back when Peace of Mind came out, it's probably their favorite drum sound.
But you said it recorded Peace of Mind and Powerslave.
And Powerslave and Fear of the Dark.
Then it's S tier.
Okay, we'll go S tier.
Yeah. Everybody's heard it. Maybe nobody's seen it, but everybody's heard it.
Yep.
Let's move on.
Cool.
So finally, he's entered the arena on the stage. And what does he bring? He brings this.
He brings a Sonor Phonic Plus series kit. So the previous kit was the Phonic series. Those are like the more traditional depth, shallower toms and kick drums. The Phonic Plus was like Sonor's kind of big entry into like the oversized 80s rock and metal drum market. So this is when he started using square sizes, which he's really famous for. So the toms are, 10 by 10, 12 by 12, 13 by 13, very, very deep. This kit, surprisingly, Nicko does not actually have. This is I believe the one kit that he sold following the tour. And I have read in some interviews that I think he found this kit a little bit difficult to get a good sound out of live. I think especially because, using the previous kit with Trust, he's used to having the no bottom heads at the time, so they would just shove the mics up there. Can't really do that with this.
Yeah.
It was his first tour with Maiden. If you went to the Ipswich gig in '83, the first show of the tour, and you saw him open with Where Eagles Dare for the first time live, this is the kit he was playing.
This thing is enormous.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, is this his biggest kit?
Um,
I'm not sure I've seen him with a kit this big before.
I think it's about on par with the others. I think around this time, like later on, he started sitting even lower, and so things got even more kind of tightly clustered
Yeah, I was gonna say it
around
just
him.
looks a bit wider
Yes.
than they normally do. Like
Yeah.
maybe it's just a bit more spread out.
He's known for, at least in the past, he was known for using a 24-inch crash all the way on his right.
It's just enormous.
Yeah, it's
thick.
massive.
It's thick, so I thought it was a ride.
Yeah. And this actually, on the ride, it's a good point. During this time, he was still using 2 ride cymbals.
Right.
Luna disagrees, apparently.
Hey!
Peace of Mind tour.
Yes.
Legendary. His first tour with the band.
He has brown hair. He has short hair.
Yeah.
He's a little bit foreign looking to the average Maiden fan.
The kit is amazing, gigantic. I love the layered symbols and everything.
Yep.
Like he's just got so much going on up there on all his kits.
Yep. I would say this is when his what we now think of as traditional Maiden setup really kind of this was the first instance of that. Square toms, the cymbal configuration. I mean, the exact symbols he's used has changed over the years, and there've been a couple things that have moved around, but this is where you first start to look at it and you instantly recognize whose kid it is.
You can tell the change on Peace of Mind compared to Number of the Beast is so immediately obvious, and it adds. And again, it's nothing to take away from Clive. It's just it turns into like the fun side of Maiden, where it's like, okay, now we're going on an adventure.
Yeah.
And that's what Where Eagles Dare was like.
Yeah.
So now we can quickly move on to.
Wait, you gotta rank it.
Now we're going to quickly go back to the tier list, and we're going to rank the Peace of Mind. I think that kit was pretty damn impressive.
Yeah.
It was. I don't think it's quite got the legendary status of the actual Peace of Mind kit, the kit he used to record Peace of Mind. Again, I know he's expressed regret at selling it since, but obviously, given that he sold it right after the tour, I don't know. I would speculate maybe it wasn't his favorite. I don't know. I feel like this one is maybe in the A or the B tiers where I would
A
go.
or B.
But
Why don't you say B? Because didn't you say there was a problem micing it up and stuff? So
yeah, I think it was more so that like he was really used to having the concert toms, and so they hadn't really like dialed in the sound.
you gotta think
quite
with
yet.
Nicko Brain. What would
Yes.
Nicko put this in? So
Yeah.
maybe B.
Oh, we're gonna nail it. Whatever we come up with, Nicko agrees.
Okay.
We've decided for him.
Yeah. So moving on, we're now in the Powerslave era, and
Yes.
like you said, album recorded with that same original drum set from Peace of Mind album, but live we have this Sonor kit.
Now this kit's really interesting. So this is another Phonic Plus, like the Peace of Mind tour kit was. So it's all square sizes, but if you notice, no bottom heads. This is a concert tom kit.
Ah, yeah.
And you can see they've got the mics
Yep.
back up underneath. And he specifically like asked Sonor to build him a new version of his original kit for this tour.
Wow.
Okay.
But rather than doing the traditional depths, I don't know if it was his decision or Sonor's decision, but they gave him like the full square sizes. So this is a very special kit. As far as I know, this is the only Phonic Plus concert tom kit that Sonor ever built. And of course, this is the kit that you see and hear on Live After Death, which is a
Yes.
lot of people's favorite live album. It's, you know,
It's
obviously-
iconic.
Yeah. So
So this is nostalgia bait right here.
it is 100%. Yeah. This is a very special drum kit. And it was also used in the music videos for Aces High and 2 Minutes to Midnight, of course.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense. Yeah, I mean it melds into the look of that stage so well.
Yes.
Even without really trying to. It's
Yeah.
just its own piece of art,
Yeah.
and it's incredible.
Yeah, it's a finish that Sonor called metallic silver.
I was gonna say it's very nice and pearly looking.
Yeah, it's got a nice shimmer to it. I've heard since it's been stored at the Maiden warehouse in cases for the last however many decades,
Yeah.
that it has kind of oxidized a little bit. It's turned a little green,
Oh.
but I still think it would probably be a really impressive sight to
Yeah.
behold.
Well, you can fix that stuff, right? You can
I'm not sure.
refurbish it.
Well, the wraps can get pretty fragile over time because it's just like a composite like plastic mylar material. But even still, with the patina on it, it would probably
It's
still
history.
be-
You don't want to take off the.
Yeah.
It's got 1984 air on it.
Yep. Dust from the pyro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it.
There's a great shot of him playing the kit. Actually, the interesting thing about this photo, I'm not sure if this was maybe taken during the filming of one of the music videos, but you can see that snare he's using there. At this time, he was using a Ludwig Superphonic LM402, which is an aluminum drum. That's the drum that was used to record Peace of Mind, Powerslave. I believe it was on Somewhere in Time as well. This drum here is a pearl free-floating wood snare, probably maple. I believe the story is that he was gifted that by Tico Torres from Bon Jovi, who was a pearl artist. And at one point, he was trying to get Sonor to develop their own version of that drum, but I don't think it ever happened.
I'm quite enamored with his outfit, to be honest.
Yes.
It is quite striking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And very 80s.
First
So-
leotard.
Yep.
So this is the kit, and I've always thought that the Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner on Live After Death is a very special recording.
Yes.
And then this is the kit that did that. So
Yeah.
yeah, props.
Stay tuned for the next video in which we rank Nicko's leotards from the 80s.
Yeah. I mean, you've already touched on his chef pants. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we got to move back into the past, reaching retro to its logical conclusion. So somewhere.
No.
First we have to make an
Once again,
assessment.
we have to go back and we have to rank the World Slavery Tour, which I think is S tier. If it's on,
I mean, it kind of has to be because it's on Live After Death.
Yeah.
I don't think we can get away from the fact that it's on their most classic live release.
Yes,
And it just looks so impressive.
it does.
So that's staying in S, and then we're gonna move on to Somewhere on Tour kit, and I love. Yeah, it just seems to they just seem to look better and better through
Yeah.
the years,
Yes.
except for the obvious stinkers that you probably have planned.
We'll get to this. Yeah,
But this one,
yeah,
he obviously went in, and this may have been the first time where he was like, I want something that will fit this theme of a tour. It seems like Nicko went in and was like, hey, we're doing this futuristic tour based on like Blade Runner aesthetics, and I want it to look chrome.
So the really interesting thing about this kit is you would think that yes, that's what happened. They
Are you about
recorded.
to tell me that I'm wrong?
You would think that they recorded the album, decided on the artwork and the theme, and then went to Sonor and said, "Please make us a kit to match." This kit, he actually also used this to record Somewhere in Time.
Oh, so he found it before they even really had the concept down, probably.
Yes, and this is, I believe, as far as I know, the only instance of a kit being used to record the album, and then that same kit also being taken out on the tour for that album.
Right.
So this kit it's a Sonor Phonic Plus. It's a prototype of a series that they would go on to make called the Phonic Plus High Tech series, which has that matte gray wrap and all of the black hardware. This is a little bit special because it's got these like white gaskets under the lugs on the drums, which the production drums did not have. So it's a really easy way to tell this apart. I mean, obviously the setup is another easy way to tell it apart from the other production drums. This kit was actually hand built by Karl-Heinz Menzel of Sonor, who would later go on to become the president of the company.
Of the United States.
Oh my god.
Now, I have to ask, first of all, when did he start having gongs? Was it right off the bat with Peace of Mind, or?
That's a good question.
I feel you can go back. I feel like I definitely saw gongs.
Let's
in
just
these
really
pictures.
quickly go back. I know
definitely he had one on the World Slavery Tour, a smaller one.
Looks like no for Peace of Mind.
He may have had a small one at the back. I don't know. It's a little hard to tell from those photos.
Looks like probably a no.
Yeah, but this is definitely the first one where he gets a fully custom gong for somewhere on tour.
He has one for World Slavery, big one, and then now do you count that as part of the drum set?
So,
or is it like just an accessory?
I mean, technically yes, it's part of his setup. I mean, generally when you're counting the pieces of a drum set, you only count the actual drums,
Right,
not
that's
the
technically a
cymbals.
cymbal.
Yeah. So yes and no. I don't know. Drummers are weird.
I know.
But yeah, you can see that gong is fully custom. Like Peisty, they were doing color sound, they called it, cymbals at the time, but they weren't doing color sound gongs. So as far as I know, that was the first color sound gong. And you'll notice the font on the gong is in the Maiden font, which I think was the first time Peisty ever did that for him. The rest of his cymbals are all just standard production models. But yeah, this kit obviously was used to record Somewhere in Time. I believe, according to Nicko, he said it was also used to record Seventh Son of a Seventh Son. There's no photos of that. There are photos.
Evidence.
No, but there are photos of him at Compass Point. They were in the Somewhere on Tour book of him recording Somewhere in Time.
And do you think the only reason they had a gong for Somewhere on Tour was because they played Mariner again?
I'm not sure. I would imagine that's part of it, but I also think, let's be honest, like it's a huge visual statement too, especially if you have something custom like that that's painted with your special font on it. And there have been tours since where he hasn't really used the gong, but it's kind of been sort of a focal point on stage.
That's what's missing this year, man. There's no gong back there.
Oh, so this is him in the studio then.
That is recording Somewhere in Time, and you can see all of the cymbal stands are still chrome, so that's before he got the custom black plated powder coated stands, and even the rim on the 6-inch tom is a chrome rim. So it was not quite a complete kit at that point.
And if you look really closely, he's very happy, but you can see just in the back in the shadows, you can see Steve brooding in the back saying he's playing too fast, mate. We got to slow him down a bit. But he looks extremely excited to have this drum set.
Yeah. And this kit I know is one of his favorites. He used this on the Be Quick or Be Dead music video. He used it on the From Here to Eternity music video. When he left Premiere and rejoined Sonor in, I believe it was early 2016 or maybe late 2015. That was before the Book of Souls tour, and they didn't want to reveal the kit, so they brought this kit out of storage, and they used it for all of the announcements. It was a really special thing.
Wow.
Yeah, there it is in the back with the Ludwig Superphonic. Just a gorgeous kit, and obviously the drum sound on Somewhere in Time is just incredible.
What I love about Somewhere in Time is while everybody else sounds like synthed up and futuristic, it's all kind of kept on the ground with Nicko's kit sound.
Yes.
There was nothing added to it. It's still just Nicko keeping everything together, so it still sounds like totally metal.
Yep, just with a little bit of extra reverb.
Yeah, exactly. and then I'm gonna remember this time, and I'm gonna rank this one. I think
S tier. No question. Not even a discussion.
I mean,
S
we're
tier.
in the '80s. We're in the
S tier.
classics. This is peak Maiden.
Yeah.
We're going.
We're gonna have to do some
S tier.
overlapping in S tier, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we'll get to that. So let's move on to Seventh Son. This is where some people fell off and some people came on, and I'm all for Seventh Son.
Apparently did
Love
not
it.
do well in the U.S.
Yeah. Well,
Such a great record, though.
Their loss, our loss.
we didn't lose anything. We got Seventh Son.
Mm-hmm.
Here he is. He's grown his hair out.
Mm-hmm.
He's blonde now, which is good. So he looks like Nicko today.
Yep.
And we've gone back to white.
Indeed, we have.
White symbols.
Yeah.
Yep.
Why are there two symbols behind him?
Yeah, so he actually had those on the Somewhere on Tour kit too, but they were black.
Okay.
And it was just, again, another kind of visual thing, kind of framing the gong with some matching colored symbols.
Interesting.
And he would stand up and turn around and hit those sometimes at the end of songs. But
So you found a list.
yeah, okay, so this kit, there's a lot of interesting stuff and mystery surrounding this kit. So this kit is, if you go back to the last picture, you can see those badges. Those are Sonor signature badges. The signature series was made of the same wood as the Phonic and the Phonic Plus series. It was a beech shell. The signature series was generally a little bit thicker. It came in two variations. There was a signature heavy, which I believe was a 12-ply beech, and then there was a signature light, which was thinner plies of birch. He has said that this is a signature light birch kit. However, there's a little bit of a backstory to this. This is another custom job that Sonor built for him. This is not a standard production line kit. So it's got signature badges. It's in a special finish. It's called White Diamond. Now, supposedly it has a little bit of a subtle sparkle to it, and this finish was generally not available on these drums. It was available on one of their lower end lines called the Performer Series. And he saw it and he liked it so much that he asked them to do it on this kit. Now, some people say that this kit actually has the thinner Phonic beech shells. Mm-hmm. Some people say that it actually does have the signature light birch shells. Who really knows? Until somebody actually digs it out of storage and inspects it, I don't think we'll really know.
Yeah, inspect the termite stomach content.
Exactly. But what we can see in some of the shots of him playing the kit is that it does have a veneer of bubinga wood on the inside, which is
My favorite type.
it's it's everybody's favorite wood, right? Comment below your favorite species of wood.
Balsa.
Yeah, it's
Plywood.
so the bubinga wood was a feature of the signature series. So either it's a signature shell or it's a Phonic shell, and they did a custom job. Probably because they wanted to sell more signature kits at the time.
Oh, look at that jacket.
Yeah,
And
it's
the hat.
this kit is just so cool. I mean, it is like the bright white, the snare drum, which was also custom painted. It's a Sonor D506 ferromanganese steel, custom painted in the white diamond finish. And we actually have a photo of it from more recent times. I believe this was taken at one of the Rock and Roll Ribs parties
The snare here.
by Mr. Jim McCourt. Shout out.
Wonderful.
Yeah, this kit was also custom sizes. So these were not square sizes. They were 1 inch shallower. So again, custom sizes that Sonor normally didn't offer. And because it's Nicko, he got a fully custom kit. This kit was also used to record No Prayer for the Dying.
Is this that picture?
I believe this is probably like the writing or rehearsal sessions before the recording started.
This
Because
looks
there's
like
no
it's a
mic
few years
set up.
later.
Yeah, but this is in Barnyard Studios at
Right,
Steve's
right,
house. Yeah. So this is the kit that you see in the Holy Smoke music video.
Got it.
Well, if you go
Yeah.
back 3 to where he's in his state, yeah, that one. I like the way that his outfit is black and white too, to sort of match the aesthetic of the kit. Very, very well put together. Very well thought out.
Very Shamu of him.
Yeah, and I would say this kit and the Somewhere on Tour kit, the previous ones, are really where we start to see the
Yeah.
drum kit become an
Yeah, like get a
integral part.
personality.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's part of the stage set. It's not just a piece of gear.
It's wonderful. Now, do we keep rocking with the S tiers? Do you think this one? There's a reason for this one to be lower.
So I think this kit looks fantastic. It sounded pretty good on Maiden England.
Is pretty good enough?
it doesn't sound that great on No Prayer for the Dying. Now, I'm not sure how much of that is down to the kit or how much of that is down to where they recorded the album, but personally, I feel like the drum sound on that record is a little thin. I don't know how you guys feel.
I would have to pay attention. I don't ever go listen to that album, and I don't think I've ever been like, let me sit down and listen to just the drums of No Prayer for the Dying, because I hardly listen to it at all anyway, so I couldn't speak on that personally.
But Maiden England, the DVD that we have, I mean, I've never noticed it not sounding great, but do you think it sounds a little bit subpar in comparison?
I would probably say this is more of an A tier than an S tier.
Okay.
Should also mention this was the kit that features in the Rhythms of the Beast video that he shot.
Great.
As well.
So the 80s, we're done with the 80s.
Yes.
So half the people can stop the video now and continue with your day, and we're going to move on to the 90s now.
More interesting periods in the band's history.
Yeah.
So No Prayer on the Road,
No Prayer on the
1990,
Road.
91 era.
Yeah, so historically there's been a lot of discussion about like the Seventh Son, the Seventh Tour kit, the No Prayer Tour kit, and the Fear of the Dark Tour kit. And I think over the years, various people have said it's all the same kit. It's not. There's actually 3 separate drum kits. So this is a true signature series heavy shell. So the 12-ply beech with the Bubinga interior. These are the standard square sizes. So he's gone back to those typical Nicko square sizes. There is one interesting carryover from the 7th Tour of a 7th Tour kit. You can see the Paiste 602 13-inch heavy bell in the middle is still the white color sound version, which was originally on the 7th Tour kit. This kit was used for the No Prayer tour. It showed up in a couple of music videos. The Tail Gunner music video, obviously. It was also used for Bring Your Daughter to the Slaughter, and a downsized version showed up in the Wasting Love video. And this kit is when he started using a custom Sonor cast bronze snare. I believe the model number is HLD 591. I think there were only 2 or 3 of those made. One went to him. I believe one went to Bernard Purdy. Really phenomenal drum. That's the drum that you hear on the Rhythms of the Beast video. He used that drum with the 7th Tour kit for the Rhythms of the Beast video.
Got it.
Yeah.
Can you shut up? Oh, it's like a sticker.
Yeah,
The
so
picture
this,
disc.
that's the picture disc of the Rhythms of the Beast,
sticker.
Rhythms of the Beast single. So even though, again, it all gets this is, I think, part of why people are so confused about these 3 kits. They're all white, even though the 7th Tour kit was supposedly white sparkle. It doesn't look like it. He used the 7th Tour kit on the Rhythms of the Beast video, but the picture on the Rhythms of the Beast single is the No Prayer Tour kit, which is a different kit. So now you know. You
bit
can
of a
impress people at
Frankenstein.
parties with that fact.
Oh yeah, everyone wants to know about
That's
that.
why they had to paint the kits so morons like me know that they're different.
So this is like the first Frankenstein kit, where it's a bunch of different stuff.
Well, I mean, a little bit if you count that one symbol in the middle, I guess. But
Yeah, totally throws it off.
Yeah.
Total Frankenstein job. Well, how do you feel about this one?
I've never been as big of a fan of the Signature Series drums. Like, the Phonic Plus series already has a really thick shell. The Signature Series was even thicker. I feel like it was maybe not quite as musical as some of the other kits. And again, like, we don't have a lot of, like, aside from a couple of live tracks on some singles, there's really not a lot of official documentation of how this kit sounds. I don't know. I'm thinking maybe
put it right in the
maybe a
middle?
C tier. Yeah.
Points for Bubinga?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Binga gets points, and I mean, there's nothing wrong with being average. You know,
Yeah.
we're all mostly average at everything we try. So
This is very true.
we are now going to move on to Fear of the Dark,
Fear of the Dog.
which is everyone's favorite album. And here he is.
Oh, I like his pants.
Yep.
I like-
Not to go off topic, but
I like his pants.
you know I'm a big costume fan.
So we're still on
big
the
pants
white
fan.
shells.
We are on the white shells. So this kit, if you remember, if you can think back all the way to the beginning of this, what is surely now a very long video, the kit that he used to record Fear of the Dark was the Phonic concert tom kit that he used to record Peace of Mind and Powerslave, Steve's favorite kit. So because he used that kit to record this album, when they took the show out on tour to support this record, you can see even though this kit has fittings for bottom heads, there's no bottom heads fitted to the kit, and so the microphones are still shoved up inside the shells.
Got it.
This is another case where they built him a signature series kit, but it's actually completely custom. It's another white diamond, supposedly has some sparkle in it, although none of the photos really show that, so we don't really know if that's true. The shells are actually fanatic shells. It's 9-ply beach, but they just have signature badges on them. And so this is the kit that you see on Donington 92. You can hear this kit on some of the tracks on A Real Dead one and A Real Live one. And I believe there was a music video they released, a live music video of Fear of the Dark from Donington 92 that this kit is also in.
So it seems like pretty standard fare.
Yeah.
With a few extra little tidbits.
Yeah, and this is the first kit where he went back down to 1 ride cymbal from 2 ride cymbals, which he's stuck with since then.
Is there a purpose to having 2 ride cymbals?
Yeah, so he used to play a 22-inch Sound Creation Bell ride and a 20-inch Sound Creation Bright ride. And you can hear, especially on the isolated drum tracks of the Trooper, which you can find, they're out there on the internet. You can hear, I believe on, it might be the second verse, I think, he actually switches cymbals and the tone changes.
Okay, so it's a tonal change.
Yeah, but around this time, I think he decided 1 ride cymbal was enough.
Yeah, just pick your favorite and go for it.
Yeah.
So Fear of the Dark tour, do we stick it next to No Prayer in C? Or?
I would also call this a C. I think it's cool that it's a custom kit, but again, like, I don't think it's necessarily sounded the best. Donington 92 album doesn't have the best tone.
Yeah. I mean that whole album doesn't sound the best.
Yeah.
For all of them really, but same kind of with the next one.
Yeah.
Which is Real Live Tour.
Real Live Tour.
So here we go and it's not grainy at all.
This is our first big change. So
Signia.
Yes. So this is his first Premier kit when he left Sonor and went with Premier drums. There's a whole story about why that happened, having to do with the Fear of the Dark tour in '92 down in Australia and New Zealand and Japan. There's a really entertaining interview with Nicko on YouTube already where he goes into detail about that. So I won't retell that here. But suffice it to say, he left Sonor, he went with Premier, British company, and at the time they had a new series out called the Signia, and so that's what he's playing. It's a maple shell kit, so he's now no longer using beech. It's much thinner shells. It's still square sizes, so still, his typical sizes. And you can see here, the photos are really crappy because we don't have a lot of good documentation in this kit.
No.
It was used for Raising Hell, which was never remastered or re-released. So all we really have are like grainy captures from that or captures from bootlegs of the Real Live tour.
You've got a China right on its side, right behind him.
Yep, that signature 22-inch heavy China. And he's playing a rack system now, so he's not using stands. The reason for that is, at the time, Premier was owned by Yamaha, and all of Premier's hardware was rebranded Yamaha hardware, and I don't think it was very good. So he had a custom-built rack by Tom Falicon, and he actually stuck with that for the next few tours.
So a Real Live tour.
We'll say this kit was also used for the Angel and the Gambler music
Ooh.
video, if that's important to anyone.
Everybody's a big fan of that one.
Yeah,
I
really
like that song. I think that song gets a lot of undeserved hate.
I think that it should be shorter.
Yes.
You think?
It's
Yes.
far too repetitive.
That's a fair criticism.
It could be a fine song for me if it just...
Condense it down.
Yeah.
So a Real Live tour, do we go any lower than C?
This is a tough one for me. I think I might even put this down in D. It's not my favorite. I think he was using Premier's own drum heads at the time. I don't think the tone was super great.
I mean, it's not like a Real Live tour is most fans' favorite thing anyway. So I don't think you're gonna be breaking a lot of hearts.
Yeah.
But,
looks cool though.
Yeah.
With the rack.
I mean, it's interesting with the rack.
Nice rack.
He does have a nice rack.
Nicko has always had a nice rack. You heard it here first.
Moving on, and we're sticking with a rack with X Factor
Yes.
and
Another Premier Signia.
Yeah.
Another
so
white
he's
drum
stuck with
kit.
it.
Yep. Still using the same rack. Now we've got a white kit. He's switched. He was previously using Paiste Signature Series cymbals. You can see here by the red ink on the back of that ride, he's using Paiste 2002s. Slightly different alloy. I believe that's because whatever setup they had at Steve's studio, at Barnyard Studios, the signature cymbals were just like too much, and I think he wanted to go with something that fit the vibe of that studio and the sound of that room a little bit better. This kit, basically the same as the last one. Interestingly, you can see in this photo from the side, on a lot of the dates on this tour, he left the 6 and 8 inch toms off.
Oh yeah, that's why you can see him.
Yeah, and one could speculate that maybe that has something to do with the fact that a lot of the drum parts on the X Factor are a little more stripped down, a little more groove based. There's not as many fills. Also interesting to note, we don't actually know for sure what kit was used to record either of the Blaze albums. There's no photos of any kit set up in the studio that I've seen from around that time. So we
Nicko,
really don't know.
Please, Nicko, comment below and tell us what you used on those albums.
Go back
Please.
one.
Go back one.
Very important. We have Sooty in the corner.
That's right.
Oh,
He
is this
is-
the first
Yeah.
appearance?
No, it's definitely not his first appearance.
No,
but
he
I
did
just,
that in the 80s.
Yeah,
I think 7th tour maybe was the
Yeah,
first one.
I think it was around
I just
88.
noticed him very clearly sitting there, and that gives me points for this one.
Yes.
Yeah, Sooty is a very important part of his drum kits.
Yeah. And you can see that angle of that snare drum is pretty extreme. When he went to the rack, he started sitting a lot lower, even lower than he had been in the 80s. And so you can see the snare drum is slowly approaching like a 45-degree angle here. Cool kit. I think it sounded pretty good based on the recordings I've seen.
But it sounds like it's still probably around a C or a D.
I would call it a C. I think this
C.
kit, to me, had a bit more punch than the real live tour kit.
Okay. And then moving on to everyone's favorite, Virtual 11 tour.
Virtual.
I like that artwork.
So this
Yeah.
is like
I was-
98, right?
Yep. Yeah, this one's
Oh,
fun.
yeah, okay.
This one's fun.
I
So,
forgot about this one.
So this same rack, but the drums are now the Premier Signia Marquee series, so the Signia maple shell, it has reinforcing rings on the top and bottom. Signia Marquee was also a maple shell, but it had no reinforcing rings. For those of you that care about that kind of stuff. I think a really interesting thing about this kit is, if you're familiar at all with the Virtual 11 stage set, this kit kind of sticks out. Like it's bright red and it has this like
Flame.
Guy Fieri t-shirt looking bass drum head. Like it's
It's
a
very
finish.
Y2K,
Yes.
like Affliction era.
Yes. Yeah. But I think that makes it kind of cool. It's very unique. Finish called Redwood Lacquer, super bright, pure red. I just think it really catches the eye under the lights on stage.
It is pretty interesting.
Yeah.
There's a lot of red on the Virtual 11 album cover too,
Yes.
so it kind of fits the theme well.
Yeah.
I've always found it like Nicko's kits look a little funny to me because it's like a kit this size, any other band, they'd have 2 kicks.
Yep.
But he's so dedicated to the one that it looks so top heavy.
I-
Like,
It does.
if anybody just leaned on it, the whole thing would just fall over.
Well, especially when he's got the rack too, because it all kind of slants in at
Yeah.
the bottom. So yeah,
but it looks very delicate.
It does, but the cool thing is it kind of gives it symmetry because it's all centered around the one kick drum, so it's got this really cool like balance to it in a
Yeah.
way.
oh my god, he's going for it
Yep.
there.
Here we see another custom gong. So if you remember, he had the black gong for Somewhere on Tour, the white gong for 7th Tour, and now he's got a red gong for the Virtual 11 Tour. And the black gong and the red gong would make another appearance on the Legacy of the Beast Tour.
Ooh.
If you remember, he had 3 gongs for
Yeah.
that show. There were a few shows in South America that were shot for local TV
Yeah.
broadcasts, and on some of those they left the gong off so they could get these behind the kit shots.
What song do you think he's about to slam this gong for? Future Real?
Could be.
I'd have to look at the set list.
Yeah.
Nobody knows the set list. Is he standing on the drums?
Yeah, he used to do. I think it was at the end of Hallowed. He'd stand 1 foot on the drum throne, 1 foot on the floor tom. He doesn't really do that so much anymore. Again,
I wonder why.
I'll refer back to that story about why he left Sonor in 1992, and maybe we can find that interview and link it in the description because he tells
Can I
it
take a guess?
perfectly.
And that he stood up on it and he went right through the head?
You may be onto something. You may be onto something there.
Yeah, I can imagine that cracked him right in the... Okay.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah.
need to rank this one.
Yeah.
It's definitely unique.
It
So
is.
It gets more points for uniqueness. I don't know about... How do you feel about its sound?
This is another one where it's really hard to say because we don't know what albums it was used to record. There's a possibility even that it could have been used to record Brave New World. We just don't know about either the Blaze albums or Brave New World.
There's no live album for it either.
Right.
So.
We have a few pro shot bootlegs from the South America dates on the tour, and that's about it.
Yeah.
I do think the finish is cool. It really sets it apart. The flames on the kick drum head. Again, it's, like you said, very Y2K era.
Yeah, like, it's not one that they could pull out again and be
No.
like, look at this baby.
Right.
Like, everyone would be like, what is that?
But I do think that gives it some charm.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
So-
for the time, I think it's pretty interesting.
So I would almost say that maybe bumps it up to a B.
B? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've never seen him play another kit that looks like that.
Yeah.
So...
Red's also my favorite color, so I might be just a little bit
good.
biased.
Yeah, very good. So Ed Hunter, Bruce is back. 1999. We were doing the hits.
Yep.
Everyone's fucking.
Yep.
Everyone's happy.
Metal is back.
Metal is back in everyone's lives.
Back on
Grunge
the
is
menu.
dead. Metal is back.
And Nicko is back with Premiere.
I love
He's-
this corny CGI devil they put
Yes.
from the game onto the fucking head.
And you would think, based on everything that we just said and how kind of hype this was a very hype moment for the band. The reunion era had begun. You would think he would get some grandiose new custom kit from Premiere, but instead what he did was he took bits of the Real Live Tour kit and the X Factor Tour kit and alternated them to make this kind of checkerboard pattern.
Okay.
And so you can see he's also alternating the color of the bottom heads on the toms as
Yeah.
well. So you get this, it really is like a cool checkerboard effect.
That is a cool idea.
Yeah.
So is this more of a Frankenstein?
This is the most Frankenstein kit
Okay,
I think
good.
he's ever had.
Now, is it... So are all the drums here Premiere?
Yes, they're all Premier Signia series. So they're all exactly the same shell. It's just the finish that's different.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And then let's see. Oh, so just the one.
Yeah, so this kit is probably one of the worst documented because Ed
Yeah.
Hunter was such a short tour and there was really not a lot of material. Like, there are some bootlegs out there, but they're all pretty low quality like this. So we really don't have any good photos of this
Very
kit,
elusive.
unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, it's all bootlegs.
Points for
yes.
Sooty.
Yep.
Yeah.
Points for Sooty, points for the CGI Devil.
So it's hard to rank for sound or anything really.
Yeah.
We don't have any good material to go off of, but just for saying, hey, we're back, it's at least a B, I would say.
Yeah, I would probably also put it at a B because, again, like, it's a combo of the Real Live Tour kit and the X Factor
Definitely
kit.
not higher than a B.
Yeah. And you know, some points for originality for having the
Yeah.
idea to, like, cobble together two kits in a way that looks good like that. So, I don't know. I think B is fair for that
I
one.
think it represents how much fun they were having when they got
Yes.
back together.
He also did use that kit for a few dates on the Brave New World tour.
Did he? Okay.
Japanese leg and some random Euro shows.
Interesting you say that because Brave New World is the next tour
Yes.
that we're going to be talking about.
So
And
here...
this is well documented.
It is very well documented. I didn't put a lot of photos in. Yes.
Nice
because
blue purple, just
it's-
like the shirt.
Yep, it's I think they called the finish Sapphire. It's a really beautiful
Yeah.
finish. I've seen a couple of Premier Signia marquee kits in person in this finish, and it's just gorgeous. You can see a little bit of the wood grain through it. This is obviously the kit that you saw on Rock in Rio. This is also the kit that he used to record Dance of Death, funnily enough.
I love the way the kit sounds on Dance.
Yes.
Death, so.
I'm interested
Yes.
about this drum head. It looks like it's like painted, like somebody airbrushed it or
Yeah.
something, because it doesn't look like the official artwork.
No.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I almost, in some shots it almost looks like it's an overlay that's
Yeah.
like stuck on the head. I really don't know.
It just
What
doesn't
they were
look like
doing.
the official art. It looks like somebody airbrushed it. So I
Yeah.
just didn't know if that was like an actual print or if somebody painted
Yeah,
that.
to me
Yeah,
it looks like
it is also a
custom
screenshot from a YouTube video, so it could be like weird YouTube
Yeah, but
compression. I don't know.
I look at the artwork too much, and it looks a little bit off
Yeah.
from what it normally does. Not
But-
that it's bad; it's just a little different.
I will go on record right now as saying I think this is one of the best sounding kits that he has ever played. I mean, if you listen to the drum sound on Rock in Rio, like, it will take your head off. It's that fucking heavy. It's just
this-
so good.
So for younger fans like us, Rock and Rio was
Yes.
kind of our big one. That's
Our Live After Death.
It is. And I replayed this nonstop.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I just remember like Nicko. I remember the first time feeling like I want to play drums.
Yes.
Because of that album, or
Yeah.
because of that record. And look how many freaking cymbals he has.
Yep. Yep. And interestingly, or perhaps not, depending on how interested you are in this kind of stuff, he was using a Premier Janista series snare here, which is a birch snare. First time that he had done that, I think it kind of lends to like the unique sound of Rock in Rio. It just doesn't really sound quite like anything else that they've ever done. And I love this shot too. Like there's a funny story behind this shot. So this is taken from The Wicker Man. This is from the TV broadcast version it's from the DVD.
Okay.
You can see in the lower section there's like a kind of a fuzzy thing.
Yeah.
That's the top of Bruce's head. So there was a camera, if you remember, they used to have those two ladders on either side of the drum box where he could climb up. There was a camera mounted to one. And it lasted for about the first half of Wicker Man before Bruce, while climbing up the ladder, noticed it and ripped it off and threw it backstage, which you can see in the TV broadcast version of Rock in Rio. So this camera has seconds to live at this point where this screenshot is taken, because Bruce is coming up to just rip it off and throw it away.
Wow, so we almost didn't get this shot at all.
Yes.
Why was he so mad about it?
I think maybe it was in his way or something. It was on like this weird boom arm thing. It's really funny.
I mean, this was, again, probably my introduction to Nicko McBrain live
through
Rock in Rio. So I would rank it pretty high.
I would feel comfortable putting this in S tier.
Me too.
Again, one of the best drum sounds. And just visually, like, stunning. And that stage set was it was monochromatic, but in a way that I think was really striking. Lots of purples and blues, and it just fitted in perfectly.
Well, it's like the album cover was kind of monochromatic, so it's like I think that it was very well themed in just like everything in general.
And they have the scaffolding kind of out on the stage set, and
which matches the rack.
It matches the rack exactly. So yeah, just legendary kid.
So okay, and now we're past their first album, Back Together. They proved themselves. Now it's time to revisit the past already.
So we're going to page 2, guys.
Yep,
oh my god.
Page 2 of the spreadsheet.
Page 2.
We're over halfway there.
Gimme Ed Tour. Was this 2002?
2003.
2003. Got it.
Yeah.
And oh look. That's a high-res photo right there.
Now that bass drum head, I think, is hanging up in a light fixture in Rock and Roll Ribs.
I think it is.
So I know there's quite a few up there. I think the Matter of Life and Death one is up there as well.
And I think the Somewhere Back in Time kit. Yeah. So this is when we start getting into the really visually interesting finishes on the drums. So I'll get a few like boring drum nerd stats out of the way, and then let's talk about the finish because it's fucking awesome. So
people like drum nerd stats. Speak your piece, man.
So this is it's still a Premier kit, but it's not the Signia or the Signia Marquis series anymore. So Premier had a new series out just called the Premier series. Weirdly, Premier series. I don't know. It's still maple, with the exception of the kick drum, which was this blend they called Gen X. I don't know how they came up with that name, but it's a combination of birch and maple. It's still all of his traditional sizes, square sizes, and this kit was used on several dates of the Death on the Road tour. I think specifically the Japan dates.
Oh, okay.
They had it shipped over there for that. You can also see this kit in the Rainmaker music video. And later on, Premier would actually produce a very limited replica of this kit that you could buy. The Nicko's kit was hand painted.
Ooh.
The replica kits were just a graphic wrap. But one of the most just stunning pieces of art.
This is where he really took advantage of Steve saying, "Yeah, you can have whatever you want."
Yes.
And he was like, "Okay."
I want an Eddie on every drum.
Yep. And
it added so much to the stage.
Yeah.
It did.
It really did.
It did. And let's be honest. Like the Give Me Ed stage set was really not anything that impressive. And I think this
it was the highlight.
Yeah.
I think.
This was like the most impressive thing on stage for that tour.
And look how happy he looks. He's like, "Look at this motherfucker. This is beautiful."
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, he's got a snare on his lap.
Yep. And there's that's one of the replica kits, I believe, that's set up at either NAMM or Music Messe, one of the music trade shows.
So this is the one that's got just the overlay.
Yes.
It's not him.
And you can tell that neither Nicko or Charlie Charlesworth set the kit up because the cymbals are all just totally fucked. Like that's not the way that those cymbals should be set up.
This would be unacceptable.
Yes.
Not in playing
condition. And you can tell it's not his touring kit too because the bass drum head doesn't have a porthole cut in the front, which he was still doing at the time. So this is.
Am I seeing a Peace of Mind gong back there as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. And that was on the tour as well.
Very nice.
With Peace of Mind Eddie, because I believe that was the tour where they had the Peace of Mind Eddie, Big Eddie with the
Very weird.
straight jacket shoulders. Yeah.
Well, I'm a big fan of that one. I don't think I've seen that one too often, so it was nice to see it up close like that. I think looks were up in the upper tiers, but what do you think about the sound?
This is another one where I feel like there's just not a ton of good documentation about how the kit sounds. Really, we just have, I think it was Rock Am Ring 2003. There's a Pro Shot version. I think it sounds decent. It's not my favorite, but in the looks department, it's definitely up there.
Yeah. Should we put it as like a high B? Or do you think we're in A?
I think probably A territory.
Okay.
I mean, it's iconic. It really is.
So Death on the Road,
Yes.
2003.
Death on the Road
It's
tour.
time for Passchendaele and things of that
What
nature.
a cool set list on that tour.
Yeah.
And the stage set, too, just phenomenal.
I know.
So this is the kit that played No More Lies.
Yep.
And the kit that played Lord of the Flies. It's just gorgeous.
It is. And this is another hand-painted kit. Specs are exactly the same. Premier series, same sizes, hand-painted. Just absolutely gorgeous. I think one of the best-looking kits he's ever had. And what I think is cool about this one is, don't get me wrong, as a Maiden fan, I love Eddie. I love when Eddie's all over the drums. I think it's pretty cool that this kit doesn't have Eddie anywhere on it. It's got that lady with the mask on the bass drum head. It's got the star motif.
Yeah.
It's just gorgeous.
And when you see it in the context of the stage they built with that floor they put on, like it matches.
Brings
so
it all
well.
together.
It does. It does.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
Am I seeing a red gong back there?
Yes,
Okay.
I believe. Oh, yeah, I think so. This is the second red gong that he's had.
Okay.
It's I believe a little bit darker of a red compared to the Virtual 11 tour, and it actually has. I think it has the Dance of Death script logo printed on it.
There's that floor.
Yep, there it is from Death on the Road. Oh, yeah.
The snare that has Dance of Death printed on it as well.
And he did use this for one of the Rock and Roll Ribs parties.
I think I was there for that.
Yeah, it was like the early parties.
I believe I remember him using that.
And it was just a 5-piece.
It wasn't the whole kit
at
all, but it sounded amazing.
Fortunately, some of this has been stolen now.
Tragically, the bass drum, I believe just the bass drum and the floor tom are missing. They were stolen. So all he has, I believe, is the tom-toms and the snare.
So if anybody has any leads on that.
Yeah. It's very unique. It's going to be very easy to spot when it shows up somewhere, hopefully.
Yeah. I think we're in kind of the peak of Nicko's sound engineering at this point, where I can't get over how good his snares sound in this era. And I think that this one, sound mixed with looks, I think this may be an S tier.
Yeah, I'm conflicted on this, again, just because I think back to Rock in Rio. I mean, really, because I love Rock in Rio so much, every time I listen to Rock in Rio and then I listen to Death on the Road, I'm like, oh, Rock in Rio just sounds that much better.
I agree.
But that's me.
I do agree, but I'm going to give you the reins on the final ranking because you're much more expert than we are at this. So should we give it an A?
I would say it's a very high A.
Very high A?
Yeah.
Okay, well, just imagine it's at the beginning of the A over here in front of Seventh Son. Early Days is next, which is 2005 when they were playing all of the, I believe it was the first 4 albums they were featuring.
Yep.
And they've gone with the gunmetal gray.
Yep, it's got kind of a diamond plate with some rusty sort of graphics
like
on
your
it.
dad's toolbox.
Yep. Covered in blood.
After he hammered his finger.
And I think this is the first tour where he has the giant reflector finish Peisty gong, which you can see peeking in the back there. But yeah, this is the kit that you see the legendary Live at UAV 2005 performance, which is just one of the best live musical performances ever. So these are stills taken from that. It's got this kind of interesting bass drum head.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the bass drum head? I've never really loved it.
It's not their finest work, but at least it's something.
I can't quite tell what it's trying to represent.
I know, like, is it like a fence? Is it
or a sewer grate?
Yeah, maybe that.
Yeah.
Maybe one of those that you were afraid of falling through.
I want it to look like you're about to fall into a soup. Yeah,
And
I guess it could be better, but...
And interestingly, you can kind of see we have Sooty and Sweep on the bass drum.
Oh, yeah.
There.
Oh.
So we're doubling up on the stuffed animals.
Yeah, I mean, this is a full-on brand deal at this point.
Yeah. So this is the kit that was used to record A Matter of Life and Death. You can see this in the Benjamin Brieg video, in the studio video of Different World, and obviously, again, live at Ulevi. This is also the Eggfest kit. So this is the kit that was on the receiving end of some...
Bit of residue left.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of yolk and eggshells.
In fact, I think for a while, Nicko was referring to this as the eggshell kit.
Yeah. I remember even in that scene, I think Bruce even said, like, Nicko has got, like, eggs all over his kit.
Yep.
And I just imagine he's like, whoa, what is all this?
Yeah.
Shit, I'm covered in egg.
Yeah. You can bet that his drum tech was working long hours that evening.
Yeah,
getting
frying it
that
all
cleaned
up. And...
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's wonderful. I think it's beautiful. This is another kit I think looks really good in the daylight.
It does. I think maybe a little bit less visually impressive than some of the other kits.
Yeah.
I happen to think it's one of the best sounding kits. Again, a little bit biased because Matter of Life and Death is my favorite Iron Maiden album. My favorite album. My favorite piece of recorded music in history. I think the drum sound on that record is phenomenal. One interesting thing to note about that record. So if you remember earlier, I mentioned Nicko played a Ludwig Superphonic with his Sonor kits on like the classic era records.
Yes.
For Matter of Life and Death, he brought that snare drum out of retirement after multiple decades in storage. So I feel like this kit sound-wise is S tier, looks-wise maybe a little bit below.
So A?
Yeah, I would say the highest possible A.
Okay. So it's better than Death on the Road, you think?
In my opinion, yes.
Okay, so again, like we're not gonna rank all the mid ones. We'll rank the best at the end, but just imagine the early days is over here. And we're gonna move on to A Matter of Life and Death. Now, I think we're all very big fans of this era.
Yes.
This is a very special era for, I guess, our age fan.
Yep.
Because this is when they were just like, fuck you, we're not playing the hits.
Yep. This was the first new album to come out after I became a fan. Little teenage me became an Iron Maiden fan.
Nicko brings this monster out.
Is this the first Sooty outfit that we get?
I believe it is.
Because I don't remember seeing him in any of the previous ones. So.
And my theory behind that is, I think on the last album tour before this was Death on the Road, when they did Passchendaele, they had some of the Killer crew dressed up in army fatigues, bringing the like barbed wire props on stage. And obviously Matter of Life and Death, the full stage was like in the trenches. So I imagine
he needed a theme too.
Sooty also needed a theme. If they can theme the Killer crew, they can theme Sooty. But yeah, this kit is another one where like it doesn't really pop visually on stage, but it works perfectly with the theme.
And I love the cross guns on the head. We were just talking about that last night when we were waiting for him to get his album signed. We were looking at the back of it. He's like, "This is just so cool.
Yeah.
Like I just love the cross guns."
Yeah, it's one of the best pieces of artwork from their later years.
It
a
is.
Nice moldy paint job.
Yep.
Yeah, well, it's supposed to be like
I know.
ghillie.
We got the ghillie suit camo. Yeah, and this photo is actually from when he auctioned it off. I think in 2018 or 19, he auctioned it off for a teenage cancer charity, and I think it went for like $40,000, something crazy. Came with a full set of cymbals too. But yeah, really cool kit. Another one that we don't really, because there's never been any official release from the Matter of Life and Death tour. We don't really have a lot of documentation out of this kit.
Maybe one day.
Yeah.
And Nicko actually is in this photo. He is just wearing a ghillie suit.
Right.
So he's really hard to spot, but he is there. Right. So let's rank this one. I think it's great. Maybe it doesn't pop as much.
Yeah.
It's not as bombastic. I think the idea was like this has to match the theme of the album perfectly to where it's not this big flashy thing. But it certainly does its job and it sounds great. So you think this is a strong B?
I would say strong B is good.
Strong B. And then moving on to
I should note actually.
Yes.
That kit was also used for the Live at Abbey Road performance, which if you haven't seen, fantastic. Hallowed Be Thy Name, Brighter Than a Thousand Suns, live with no audience, and it's like freaking electric.
And that's where he said that the cymbal is actually a steering wheel.
Yes.
Yeah, very important.
That's how he drives the band.
Mm-hmm. Somewhere back in time, this may be the time when a lot of people got on board with the band, and we were watching on VH1 Classic
all the time
at night, falling asleep to it every night, not because it's bad, but because it came on at past 10 o'clock.
Yep.
And this is like, to us, this is our classic Maiden. Like, this is what we're nostalgic about, is these tours.
This tour was the first time I ever saw them live. This is the first kit that I ever saw live in person.
This is the first tour that I tried to see live and failed miserably.
Moving between countries at the wrong time.
Yeah.
But it's just absolutely gorgeous.
I would call this probably the most flamboyant design that he's ever had on a kit. I mean, you think about the Powerslave theme of the Somewhere Back in Time stage set. This kit just stands out against all of that. I mean, really, it kind of matches what they put on the fabric that they put on the lighting rig.
Yeah.
That sort of turquoise theme.
And like, it's again another it's like Dance to Death where you say there's no eddies or anything printed on it. Like, it's all just Egyptian themed and it speaks for itself.
Oh, and we're back. When did we leave the rack behind and we came back to all stands?
That's a good point. So I should have mentioned for the Gimme Ed Till I'm Dead tour, when he switched from the Signia series to the Premier series, that's when Premier released finally their own line of hardware that was good enough, that had enough of the settings that he needed to ensure everything was put the same way every night. So since Gimme Ed Till I'm Dead.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
So we're years into this already.
Yes. Yeah.
And we've come to this kit, and this is rivaling the Brave New World kit for me with sound.
I would say so. Yeah.
The sound of his kit on Flight
666.
Flight 666.
Yes.
It may be my favorite. It's just so impactful.
Mm-hmm.
Every hit on that kit can be heard with such depth in your ears when you're listening on headphones, and to me this is instant S tier.
Yes.
I don't know how you guys feel.
Yeah.
I agree. I also think another cool thing about this kit is, again, that tour he was still using his old Ludwig Superphonic that he brought out of retirement, and I think that's another big part of
there
why
is an Eddie. There we go.
That Flight 666 sound is just so great.
Yes.
Oh, we've got a stealth Eddie on the side of the kick drum.
Yeah.
But again, it's not the focal point.
No.
The focal point is more about like the
I like that anyway. That was such a cool redesign.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, look at him.
Absolutely. Oh, and there's that legendary snare drum right there. He bought that in 1975.
Wow.
So how often does he bring that out?
So I think he used it to record Matter of Life and Death and Final Frontier. He used it on the tours for those records and Somewhere Back in Time, and he used it for a few dates at the beginning of the Maiden England tour, and then I think it's been put away ever since.
Are those Eddie print shorts? I'm seeing Eddie faces on them. I'm seeing teeth and Eddie eyes.
Interesting.
Yes.
Stay tuned for our ranking of Nicko's shorts.
This looks like it may be in rehearsals.
Yeah, I think that was the rehearsals for the Somewhere Back in Time tour.
Oh, to be in that room.
Yep.
Yeah,
Is that where they tried Alexander the Great in rehearsals for the first time? Nobody knows.
I doubt it.
They probably tried it first in '86.
Yeah.
I'm sure the plan was to play Mariner. I mean,
Yeah.
this is all about, Powerslave.
Even though it was named somewhere back in time.
If we could pan this picture upwards a little bit, you would also probably see the little ship's bell on the gong for the middle section of Mariner.
Yep.
And this is the first tour where he had the non-prototype production version of his signature Peisty Reflector Series ride cymbal, the 22-inch bell ride with Powerslave Eddie.
Has he always had a cowbell?
He would typically, I think, only bring it out on tours where they were playing Can I Play with Madness.
Okay.
And now, of course, Speed of Light.
He taps it a few times on Mariner, too.
He does? Right, yes.
Yeah.
On Flight 666.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, yeah, this one is for sure S tier.
Absolutely.
Right next to Brave New World.
Yep. No contest.
And then we're moving on to the Maiden England tour. What happened to Final Frontier?
Oh, yeah, what happened to that? Did we... Oh. Did I miss one?
I don't
Revoke my drum nerd credentials.
just tell us about it. We'll
Yeah.
just I'll
Okay.
find a
We'll
picture.
pop the
Great.
pictures.
We'll
I
pop a
have
picture
I
up.
have the pictures. Don't
Do you
worry.
have stats?
I do.
Okay, then
Yes.
let's just talk about it.
I
We can imagine
I
it.
can visualize a kit in
We
my
can
head.
see it.
All right,
Okay.
let's just
This
take
was
a
my
moment
first
to
tour.
put it in our mind's eye. So the Final Frontier tour kit, again, Premiere Series. He's still using his old Ludwig Superphonic snare. He did not record the album with that kit. He recorded Final Frontier with the Somewhere Back in Time tour kit. The Final Frontier kit, obviously we all know it from En Vivo.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
think another fantastic drum sound. I don't
Yes.
think quite on par with Flight 666
It's
or
just
Rock and Rio.
slightly duller, but I mean
Yeah.
only like 10%.
It's still fantastic. I mean, those massive hits at the beginning of at the end of Final Frontier into El Dorado, like it's
Yeah.
just it's such a powerful sound.
His floor toms on that
yeah,
are
it's
immense.
it's a really cool kit. Obviously, it's got the space theme with all the planets and the star
Yeah,
charts.
if you
and
close your
things.
eyes, you're looking at the bass drum head. It's a black hole.
Yep.
I love that.
And I
The
give it
black
X.
hole, like sucking matter down into the mic hole at the
Yes.
bottom. It's just so cool. And we've got Spaceman Sooty
Yep.
on the top of the kick.
And it gets extra points for me because I have in my head I have two of the best performances in the band's history. One is Flight 666 Mariner, and the other is Talisman on En Vivo.
Yes.
So that song and the drums on that are just oh my god.
It's relentless.
It's
I mean,
relentless.
it's so good. This kit I think is another one where it really was a cool contrast to the rest of the stage set. Again, the floor had some color on it, but it was a lot of grays. It was a lot of muted tones. And this
Yeah.
kit with that massive, I think it might have even been a 50-inch painted gong, hand-painted gong by John Douglas in the background. Just epic.
I feel like this was towards the end of his kind of 2000 sound too.
Yes.
Where it was the last like remnants of like the Brave New World sound and
Yep.
again like Somewhere Back in Time. This is where people are gonna disagree with me because again we're very nostalgic about Final Frontier and
Sure.
it being like the last real DVD that they did, and I know a lot of older fans didn't like Final Frontier and feels like that's where they started to fall off. But to me, that's an S tier. But
Yeah. I've always thought of this one as more of a high A tier.
Does it stand
Yeah.
up next to Brave New World and Somewhere Back in Time? Is my question for
Yeah.
you.
I mean, I guess I did say that the sound was like maybe 10% off
Yeah.
from what we were
I
used
mean,
to
there's
before.
nothing wrong with A
The-
tier.
No,
I mean, the visuals of the kit, to be clear, are still stunning. But like, are they quite on par with that turquoise Somewhere Back in Time?
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I'm happy with it in A.
Yeah.
but it is. Again, I mean, it's not like it's bad.
No.
It's next to
No.
Seventh Son
No.
and Death on
That's
the
what I
Road.
mean. Like A's not
Yeah,
bad.
this
It's
is-
just not perfect.
Brilliant. Yeah, okay.
This kit was also used to record Book of Souls. So,
Yes. Okay. So now we're back with Maiden England.
Maiden England,
We're in 2012. They decided to revisit Seventh Son.
without doing Infinite Dreams,
Yes.
much to everyone's disappointment.
Don't worry, he's playing it now.
So
Yep.
he looks nice and warm at least.
Yep, we've got the lovely Sooty in his parka on stage. This was Nicko's last Premiere kit. So at the time, Premiere was basically on their last legs. I think they had either entered bankruptcy or they were about to. Eventually, they would stop producing drums in the UK altogether, and they would just import things from Taiwan or China. So this is towards the very end of his relationship with Premiere as an endorser. And I mean, what is there to say about this kit? I think I kind of classify this kit sort of similarly to how I think back about the Maiden England tour. It had its moments, but I think overall the visual presentation was maybe a little bit lacking.
It's well themed at least. I do love that drum head.
Yeah,
It does make me feel cold.
yeah. But just when you look at it all, when you take a
He's
step
blue?
back, yeah, it's just when you take a step back and you look at it all, it doesn't quite pop.
No, the stage.
as
It's
much.
the stage and stuff. The way they did that tour up until this year was like the least spectacular that I'd
Yes.
ever seen. But the fiberglass eddies and shit, that completely
Yes.
like those are my favorite. The inflatables are cool, but the fiberglass ones, they just add like a whole new dimension. And there was two.
Yeah, they
Two
had
of
the
them?
they
Yeah.
had the album cover Eddie during Seventh Son, and then they had the
Crystal ball
Crystal
with
Ball.
the two candles
Yeah.
and Michael Kenny.
Yes,
Well,
with
they
his
seemed
fake pipe organ.
they seemed very dedicated to the color scheme on
Yes.
this tour, and I think it kind of ended up making the stage a bit muted.
It did. Although I will point out, going back to the Nicko's shorts part of the discussion, here we can see he is wearing Seventh Son album cover themed shorts, which, that's got to count for something. This kit, again, I mentioned he used the Ludwig snare for the first few dates. In this photo here, he's actually playing what was known as the Nicko's Sicko. It was a premier signature model made out of sycamore wood that was produced for a very short amount of time because, again, shortly Premier would let go of their entire UK manufacturing base and Nicko would leave Premier. I don't think this is a particularly great sounding kit. I think we have some documentation of this pro shot from Rock in Rio. Admittedly, the mix isn't the best, but
they also did Rock AM Ring, I think, that we watched live.
Yes, they did in 2014.
And I remember this was it was noticeably different than what we were used to prior.
Now, it's also worth pointing out that was the first tour without Doug Hall at the soundboard. So there could be, who knows how much of it's down to the kit, how much of it is down to that. But this one's just never been my favorite.
Yeah.
And was this the same kit used for all 3 years of this tour?
Same kit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's definitely a bit lower.
Yeah.
How low? C? D?
I think I'd be happy with C.
I might put it even lower. Yeah.
Oh, really?
I've never been a great fan of this kit.
Okay.
I would
maybe an E. Or
E. Come on.
D? F.
How does this saying go low?
I don't think any of the kits are worthy.
We're
of
not
it.
even
No.
touching
Yeah.
F. So should we do a D?
Next to a real live one.
Yeah,
Is
I
that
think- I
is
think-
that about the same?
I think
Okay.
so. Yeah. D tier seems fair.
Okay. We can all agree.
But now we're gonna have a bit of a renaissance.
Yes.
Over the next few kits.
So Book of Souls, after their year off, with the Scare with Bruce, they're back with a new album, and this is what they brought to us in 2016.
Just gorgeous.
And before we even get into the kit, I remember because we were at opening night in Florida in 2016, and when they removed everything and the backdrops came off and the fabric came off the drum set, I just remember looking at Steph and being like, "Oh my God, look at the drums!"
Yeah.
I like how the drum head has the 4 hearts that one's missing. The hearts that they used for the Speed of Light music video, and the blood coming down, and then from the stage, they even expanded on that to where the blood is dripping down from the drum kits.
Yeah, and I think we'll see over the next couple tours, this was like the pinnacle of integrating the
putting thought into those sets.
Yeah. So obviously, back with Sonor at this point, again, as I mentioned, Premier was about to end their UK manufacturing, and of course, Nicko doesn't want cheap imported drums from the Far East, rightfully so. So he went back with Sonor after a number of years away, and they made him this gorgeous SQ2 series medium beach kit, 24 karat gold plated hardware on the drums and all the stands. And if you'll notice in the photo, he also has a spray painted gold cowbell for Speed of Light. So really taking the theme seriously across the entire kit.
Now this
Small Tom, by the way.
That's
Jesus.
the whole 6 by 8 inch.
the little baby one.
Yep.
But this is the opposite of how I felt about Maiden England kit, where it just gets lost in the very sameness of the background. Where this kit stood out so much.
It's made of Mayan gold, Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the sound was just phenomenal. I think this is still before Pooch came in, so I think Pooch has really on the Legacy tour and the Future Past tour elevated Nicko's drum sound. I think this was still an improvement over Maiden England, though.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We're back to beach shells. We're back to Sonor drums. We just have a really, really punchy sound. Obviously, we heard and saw this kit on the live chapter.
Yeah.
And I just don't know how you can get much more impressive than a completely gold drum set.
And
like this.
I think that it symbolizes that Nicko was the treasure all along.
Yep.
The golden treasure on the
golden
middle of the
treasure
stage.
at the center of the band, literally and figuratively.
We came to the Mayan ruins of the Iron Maiden stage and found the golden treasure.
Yeah, he does kind of look like a genie right there.
Yeah.
He's got the arms crossed. Like, you can have 3 wishes.
And interesting that you mentioned the word treasure, because the symbols on this kit, so it's the same Paiste signature reflector series, and then the one Rude Crash and the one 602 bell that he's been using I think since about Matter of Life and Death, or maybe early days, these symbols had special Mayan hieroglyphics printed on them that signified, I think it was the date of his very first ever rehearsal with Iron Maiden.
Oh, wow.
In the Mayan script.
Because at one point when we went to Drum 1, I think he had a set of those, or were just displaying them.
Yep.
And I remember seeing the little hieroglyphs.
You could buy those for a while.
Okay, so he was probably selling them.
Yeah, it was a complete set. It came in a wooden crate packed with straw, and I think a vinyl copy of the album, and I think they retailed for like $10,000. And they called it Nicko's Treasures. So again, the treasure theme. Yeah, just stunning.
Yeah, this one was a treasure trove.
It was.
And it's definitely in the higher tiers.
Yeah.
Are we thinking this is A?
I don't know how you could put this in anything but S tier.
Fair.
Personally. Again, I was also at that show. I think that was the show where we met.
Yeah, very briefly, probably.
Yes. I spent most of my time hanging out with Logan across the street in the food court.
I mean, who wouldn't?
Yeah. But like this was like a renaissance of Maiden. Like we had just had such a scare with Bruce. Like there was so much
positive energy. You didn't know if they'd come back,
energy.
you know?
Right.
And they came back better than ever
Yes.
again, so yeah.
Having Bruce over that cauldron being the only one on stage singing that intro for If Eternity, it's like, he deserved that after going through what he did.
Yes.
I think we all deserved it, you know, seeing him up there like, oh shit, it's just Bruce.
And it was such a high concept stage show.
It was.
So much thought was put into that.
They had the rotating totem towers with their faces on the side.
Or Dave Murray, the way his ended up.
Yeah.
Everybody looks normal except Dave.
Yeah, and like that's what I love about new Maiden shows, or at least previously, was that
until recently
that first unveil, the whole crowd would just be like,
Yes.
"Whoa!" We'd all be looking at each other like, "Are you seeing this?"
I mean, there were like the fake vines hanging down from the lighting truss. It was like you were literally in the South American jungle.
Yeah,
And they revealed the pyramids like by the end of Bruce's part.
Yeah. And the set list too. I mean, first of all, the tracks that they picked to play from the record. I mean, Tears of a Clown was very special that first year, but the title track was just phenomenal.
We love Great Unknown.
Yeah.
In 17.
Great Unknown.
They played Powerslave on that.
Powerslave
tour.
was probably one of the biggest surprises too, because you would think, oh, we're already doing one epic about an ancient civilization that built pyramids. That's enough for one.
But we have a pyramid backdrop.
Right.
We might as well.
I actually remember calling that before the tour and being like, "Look, I know that it doesn't match, but they're just gonna be like." Pyramid, we're playing it.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, in terms of like the other classics too, we got Children of the Damned, which was again really special having Bruce back in top form.
It fit that tour so well.
And then the encores. First of all, Blood Brothers, you know, a true modern bona fide Maiden classic.
And it was nice to have after again Bruce had his scare, you know, to have Blood Brothers in there.
And that was the first tour where they closed with Wasted Years,
which I know has become a little bit samey in recent tours, shall we say? But at the time, like it was just a very unique thing.
With that special Eddie circle.
Yeah, the lighting rig that came down and revealed the Book of Souls
cool.
Eddie. Like,
and they were using like the stars in the back from the Final Frontier tour.
Yeah,
we're just nostalgic about that tour. It seems.
So S tier for sure.
Yeah, you got me on S tier. Yep. So now we're at Legacy of the Beast.
The first
Legacy of the Beast, 2018 and 19.
Mm-hmm.
And we come with this Sonor kit.
Yep, we're still with Sonor. It's still an SQ2 series, medium beach shell. Obviously, completely different artwork. This time, very much themed around the middle worlds in the Legacy tour, starting with Revelations, the big cathedral reveal. So it's all a bunch of Eddies in stained glass. Personally, again, as much as we love the Give Me Ed Till I'm Dead kit with the black and white Eddies, I almost think this is visually more impressive.
Well, it is because it's more colorful, and there's the correct drum head that was a white one on the last one. But I mean, it's colorful and it fits the theme so well with the stained glass because he's hidden behind like the ghillie stuff during the war theme, and then they take it off to like reveal that with all the rest of the stained glass. So
and
it's
that
just
moment when the stage went dark and there was all that movement shuffling on stage, and then you hear the count in, and then the lights come on to show the drum kit and the stained glass for Revelations. That's one of the best Maiden live moments ever.
Yes. Yeah. Probably the most impressive stage set and stage show that they have ever done.
Yeah.
I mean, they crammed so much into it, and I have heard that originally Nicko was considering the idea of doing 3 drum kits on stage, one for each realm. he had to just settle for 3 gongs. So that's again where we get the somewhere on tour gong and the Virtual 11 tour gong coming back along with the stained glass. But yeah, this kit was again phenomenal. It's got the black hardware again, or I think it's smoked chrome actually. So it's still a little bit metallic, but kind of harkens back to the Somewhere on Tour kit. Just visually so stunning, and I think this kit, in my opinion, does sound a little bit better than the Book of Souls kit. I don't know what it is about it. They used it to record Senjutsu, so obviously he liked it enough.
Because I was gonna say, this is obviously the kit that was used for Knights of the Dead.
Yes.
And we all know that Knights of the Dead was not planned, and they kind of threw it together. But however, it does sound, like subpar compared to everything else.
Yeah.
However, I always thought that one of the main things that sound good were the drums.
Yes.
On that, and I'll just listen to it. Like, my favorite thing on that album is to go and listen to For the Greater Good of God.
Yeah.
Just for Nicko's playing.
Yeah.
On that song. He sounds enormous.
Yeah, especially that whole middle section with the super groovy 6/8 part.
With the,
oh my god,
with the hi-hat.
Yes, the hi-hat scoops and the ghost notes on the snare. It's just perfection.
I think there's a really good video of him on YouTube breaking this kit down, like during the tour, where he's talking about it.
Yeah, I think when he went back with Sonor on the Book of Souls tour, he started doing like the kit tours on YouTube. But this was the first one where he actually like played the whole kit, and it just sounds freaking immense, even just through like whatever camera microphone they were using. And again, here it is in Guillaume Tell Studios in Paris during the recording of Senjutsu. So again, he loved it so much that it was the kit that ultimately ended up on the next album.
Yeah.
And here, now this is a little interesting. So this is actually not that kit, but it looks almost identical. When he switched to British Drum Company, which I believe happened in late 2019 or early 2020. Obviously, we all know the original plan was to have a third leg of the Legacy Tour in 2020. There's been a lot of speculation about what would that tour have been? What would the set list have been like? Well, British Drum Company built him basically an exact visual replica of that Sonor kit with the same wrap on the outside. Now it's a completely different shell. It's a Legend series, or as Nicko calls it, an Icarus series, because it's got, in addition to the Legend series birch shell, it's got an inner ply of fishtail oak, which is specific to the Icarus series. So it's a different shell, but visually it's the exact same kit. So I think the theory is that the 2020 leg of the tour probably would have been the same set list and same production.
Yeah, I definitely think so.
But yeah, we never saw, well, again, we'll get to that. We never saw this kit exactly in this guise. Yeah. We just did some trade shows, and obviously when he announced that he switched to British Drum Company, we got some photos of him with the kit. Yeah, so the Sonor kit, I feel like it has to be an S tier.
Yeah.
Again, it's on par with the Book of Souls kit.
I mean, especially if we're talking about, we've always said, like, I think that's their best tour. Like, just all around best tour.
It's my favorite that I've seen.
Yeah. It also had so many great Nicko moments because of the set list. Obviously, you have Where Eagles Dare, but Greater Good of God, as we said. Sign of the Cross, there's some fantastic drum work in there.
Klansman, we got him doing his little dance.
Yep, the Dancing Klansman. We got the magic right foot kick drum in Wicker Man, so... Yeah,
fantastic. Total S tier.
Yep.
And now COVID is over, and they're back with Legacy of the Beast 2.0, where we're throwing in some new songs.
Yep.
And those new songs are represented in the artwork now. They've mixed it up where they still brought in a lot of classic Eddies, but they put it over a backdrop of Senjutsu artwork.
Yeah, and I think it was based on the inner sleeve of the vinyl version of the album. There was kind of this landscape. Now, the interesting thing about this kit is this is actually the exact same kit as that British Drum Company replica version of the Sonor Legacy of the Beast kit. So obviously when the pandemic happened and the 2020 leg didn't happen, and then they eventually decided to sort of do a Senjutsu-ized version of Legacy, they actually took the finish off that kit and they rewrapped it with the more Senjutsu-themed Eddies. So we actually did get to hear and see this kit live. We just didn't know that we were seeing and hearing it.
Interesting. I think it looks great.
Yeah, I think it looks phenomenal. I think it's maybe fits nicely in the first theme of the tour. Obviously, when we had like the pagodas on top of the stage set. I do think that the eddies get a little bit lost at a distance just because there's so much going on in the background. Whereas like the stained glass one, it really pops.
Drumhead's amazing.
Yes.
I love that, like that picture of Eddie specifically is so cool.
And I believe that Eddie and that artwork is the same thing that was on the gong for this kit.
And then I think there was a little story behind that. So do you see how he has that little like horn thing on his helmet? When we went to one of the Rock and Roll Roots party, it was missing, and I think he said that Bruce knocked it off, and he was very mad about it.
Yeah, you can see it in his face there. Actually,
Yeah.
It's still on there. He's not mad yet.
Yeah, but he knows it's coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does look good, but I agree with the artwork. Kind of, it gets lost in itself.
Yeah.
Just because of the background art doesn't pop as well.
Yeah, I'm sure up close it's probably beautiful, but like there's just so much detail on it, it's kind of hard to see.
Yeah. As far as sound, do you think it's on par with what we had with the previous Legacy? Or do you think it was maybe a slight change?
You know, that's an interesting one. So I actually only saw one gig on this tour, so I didn't personally have a lot of experience hearing this kit live, and of course, you know, we never got a release from that leg. Did we get a pro shot? Did they do Rock and Rio again in 22?
I think they did.
Yeah, so we got one, at least one pro shot, but again, those are always kind of iffy as far as the sound goes.
Yeah, they're up and down. So I think maybe this is more of a mid-ranking.
Yeah, I would feel comfortable putting this one at a B.
Especially since
it's
not.
but...
Again, this is kind of a mixture of tours that weren't necessarily supposed to go together.
Right.
So it's not exactly. What are you thinking? C, B?
You said B. I would think B.
I would think B.
That's fair. Give it a B. And now we're at Nicko's
Final
kit.
Yeah. At least with Maiden.
Tour.
Yeah.
Who knows what the future holds for other kits he may have.
The special Titanium Tart kit.
Yeah.
All purple.
Yeah.
So Future Past Tour 2023 and 24. And we literally just saw this kit.
We did.
He's playing with the tarts
The
right
baby
now.
version, as he called it.
Yeah.
With a few toms.
This is what I imagined that the Senjutsu kit would have looked like, minus the drum head. Like, this is what it would have been.
Yeah, and he's talked about this in interviews, you know, being like the stage set for Future Past was very much more leaning towards Somewhere in Time vibes, and this was his way of bringing an element of Senjutsu into the stage show.
What color is the hardware on this? Because it's very interesting.
Yeah, this is like an aged copper finish, and this is like the process for doing this is incredibly complicated. British Drum Company actually put a few videos on their social media about how this kit was made. So obviously the stands were all plated in copper, and then they did some like acid dip to start kind of corroding them a little bit, and then they took a blowtorch to every single individual piece of the hardware to get this patina on it, which just is stunning.
It pops.
It's against the black artwork on the shells. It's gorgeous. I mean, I don't even know what to say about it other than that. Like, it's just a phenomenal looking kit.
And I think it's interesting that, you know, Nicko went with a heavy Senjutsu theme because he's always hyped up that album, and it seems like he's a huge fan of the Senjutsu album.
Yeah, well, as we know firsthand, given that he's debuted two songs from that album that Maiden never played on this current Titanium Tart run. Clearly, it's an album that's very close to his heart. Yeah, this kit, again, I think because it's got the Senjutsu theme in the middle of the Somewhere in Time-esque stage set, I wouldn't say it's the most cohesive with the stage show, but again, I think it's a case of like having it being a contrast really kind of makes it like the centerpiece.
And I think that the dark drums against the really bright blues of the background make it stand out too.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not distracting.
No.
That it's Senjutsu themed during the like Hot Somewhere in Time or anything, but when it is time for Senjutsu, it matches very well.
Yes.
But I just love it. I love the way the heads look.
Yep.
With the color of the rims and everything.
Yep.
It really is.
Yeah,
special.
we should note here. So at this point, you know, he was with Ludwig, then he was with Remo, then I think he was maybe back with Ludwig, or no, he was using Sonor heads for a while, then Premier heads, then back with Remo. He's now with Code drum heads, and so this is when we get his first actual signature drum head, which is kind of an updated version of the old Ludwig Silver Dot. And I don't know about you guys, but I feel like the drum sound, especially the toms on the Future Past tour, was just amazing.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of it has to do with those heads. And of course, obviously, the way that he tunes the drums.
And I mean, this is what we've been hearing with the Tarts.
Yes.
Over the last couple weeks. And, I mean, I was right up against it filming that Mariner video, and it was just incredible.
Yeah.
Like, you could hear the detail of every drum he's hitting, which I think is a feature that Nicko needs.
Yeah.
Because he's
got so many drums, you got to be able to tell them apart when he hits them.
Exactly, and there's not too much reverberation or anything.
Right.
Like it's all very concise.
Yeah, but there's still a nice tone. There's like a depth of the tone. It's not just like a thump and that's it. You get this really full, fat tone when he hits the toms, especially.
Yeah, and I specifically, I love the way his ride sounds right now.
Yep.
And the snare sounds like almost like classic Nicko again.
And actually, we should mention the snare too, because since he's gone back to British Drum Company, he now has 2 signature snare drum models with them. So we've got the Icarus, which again is that birch with the fishtail oak, and then the one that he tends to favor with Maiden when he was touring with them, and now with the Tarts, is the Talisman, which is a steel shell. And yeah, just again, phenomenal sounding drum. Also, another thing to note on this kit, the cymbals, Paiste did a custom finish on the cymbals to kind of dull the finish a little bit to sort of help them match the color of the copper stands. So again, I think just visually makes the whole thing a really stunning look.
I've always thought that anybody that's involved in the creation of the things that go on the Maiden stage, like they must get such specific problems that they have to fix and figure out how to make this work. And I bet it's so tedious. But I bet when it's done and they see it all on the stage and hear how it sounds, I bet they just feel so
proud.
Just so pleased with themselves.
Yeah, like, hey, can you make these cymbals look like blowtorched, acid-dipped copper?
And they're just like, oh god, okay.
And then on the first run of the Legacy tour too, he was using all black color sound cymbals, but because he really likes a bright, pingy, like ride cymbal sound, he had them only color sound coat the back half of the cymbal. Yeah. And the top was still the polished finish, which again, like, it's not a thing that they normally do.
Yeah.
So that we're at the end with the final kit. Now, where do we put this?
This is a really tricky one. I mean,
I think I know where our eyes are going. I think it's between S and A.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Do we be conservative with it and give it an A?
So I think it depends on like how much do we also want to factor in like the tour that it was used on and just sort of what was going on around that time, and like just thinking about the tour as like such a gift to the fans. And like we were so lucky that Nicko was able to do the tour and that the set list was so
diverse
and like had so many it like if you had told 16-year-old me that I would someday be hearing Caught Somewhere in Time, The Prisoner, Stranger in a Strange Land, Alexander on the same tour, I would have said you're insane. There's no way that that's ever happening.
I think in the way that we're just so lucky that the tour happened with Nicko, I think that's maybe what drag it into S, because if it sadly would be the last thing played with the band, with Nicko, then it belongs there.
Yeah.
So
definitely went out on a high note for sure.
Yeah, we're gonna stick it in S. And look, he's got S is full.
Yep.
We filled up the top.
Yep.
We've got no E's or F's. Which
clearly
is
he's got great taste in drums.
Yeah, I mean this guy knows a drum when he sees one.
Yes, he does.
He knows how to pick them and how to slam them.
Yep, as he always used to say, there ain't nothing to beat my Sonors except sticks.
Well, I think that's wrapping up our very long, very intricate Nicko video. This is very geared towards drummers, so please comment below if you are a drummer and if you appreciated this.
I mean, what's your favorite in S tier?
Oh, it's got to be the Somewhere on Tour kit.
Okay.
The Phonic Plus high-tech prototype kit. I mean, that just, it's so freaking, like, murdered out in all gray and black. It's just so cool.
I'm torn between Brave New World, Somewhere Back in Time, and Book of Souls.
Yeah.
Those three, to me, I couldn't pick between those.
That is a good point. Sound-wise, again, Rock in Rio, the Brave New World Tour kit, like, it gets pretty hard to top that.
Yeah.
We are spoiled for choice.
Yeah.
Yeah. And hopefully there'll be more.
Yeah.
I hope there's more Nicko kits to be built in the future.
Well, he's involved with British Drum Company now in a professional capacity.
Mm-hmm.
So, maybe we'll see some cool new Nicko developed products coming out of British Drum Company in the future years.
Yes, well, I think that is coming towards the end.
Yeah, I mean, that's an hour 40 of rambling about drums, so we'll just end that here. No further discussion. You guys can continue with us in the comments, so thank you to our Patreon members for your endless support. Thank you for watching if you made it this far, and we'll see you next time.
Goodbye.
He's not angry, he's not in fucking communication. I think you're really out of order, honestly. No, bollocks. I am not out of order. The light is going to fall down on your head.